today we're diving into something that can seem, well, a little scary. Building a massive financial report. But don't worry, we're going to turn this into a masterclass on how to create a truly professional document all inside Microsoft Word. This isn't just about typing in numbers. It's about engineering a report that's stable, dynamic, and a genuine strategic asset for any company.
So, let's just stop for a second and ask a really basic question. What are we actually building here? Is it just a 200-page brick of a document you have to file? Or is it a powerful strategic story? Because how you answer that changes everything. A great financial report isn't just a pile of data. It's the story that guides big decisions and builds trust with investors.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why this is more than just numbers. Then we'll dissect the anatomy of a report. After that, we get into the really practical stuff, building the document architecture, integrating dynamic data, and finally, finalizing for professional impact. Ready? Let's jump in.
So, first things first, the why. Before we even think about clicking a single button in Word, we have to get our heads around the strategic purpose of this whole thing. Understanding the why is what gives all the technical work its real meaning. At the very heart of this financial story is something called the Management's Discussion and Analysis, or MD&A. Seriously, think of this as the soul of the report. It's where the numbers get a voice, it's where the company gets to explain what happened, the good and the bad, and where it's headed next.
And you know, for public companies, this isn't just a list of good ideas. These are mandates straight from the SEC. They are actual regulatory requirements, and they're all about making sure stakeholders get a clear, honest, and forward-looking picture of the company's health. This quote, right here, this is everything. It's the ultimate test. If your report is filled with generic, boilerplate language, that vague, recycled text that could apply to literally any company, then you failed. The whole point is to give specific, authentic insight from the people actually running the show.
All right, so we've got the why locked down. Now let's break down the what. In this section, we're going to look at the key building blocks and design principles that make a report not just compliant, but actually compelling to read.
And this is just a brilliant way to structure that story, the pyramid structure. You start at the top with the most important takeaway, the conclusion, the big insight, and then you build your case with the supporting data and context. It respects the reader's time and gets right to the point. This table lays out the essential chapters of your financial narrative, and what you should really notice here is the mix of historical and prospective or forward-looking information. A professional report isn't just about looking in the rearview mirror. It has to look ahead and talk about known trends and potential risks. Now, please don't skip over these details. They matter so much. This isn't just about making things look pretty, it's all about function. Right aligning numbers makes columns of data 1,000 times easier to scan. Using accessible colors means everyone can understand your charts. This is all about building clarity and trust. All right, let's roll up our sleeves. It's time for the practical stuff, the how. I want you to think about your Word document like you're building a skyscraper. Before you can even think about the windows or the furniture, you need an unbelievably solid foundation and a steel frame. That's what we're building right now. Okay, here's your architectural toolkit. And let me be really clear about this. Styles are the single most important tool on this list, period. The disciplined use of styles is what separates a fragile amateur document from a rock-solid professional one.
It automates everything and makes your document a breeze to navigate. Now for the secret weapon of complex documents, section breaks. These things are magic. They basically let you chop your document into independent little mini documents. Each one can have its own rules for page numbers, headers, footers, even column layouts. You absolutely have to master these for a pro report. And here's how you use them to pull off that classic professional look with different page numbering for your table of contents and the main report. It's a simple 3-step dance. First, pop in a section break. Second, and this is key, you unlink the new section's header from the old one. And third, you just format the page numbers in each section however you want. Done.
Okay, let's be real. A financial report is a living thing. The numbers can and often do change right up to the very last minute. So let's talk about how to build a report where the data is always accurate without you having to pull your hair out manually updating everything.
This is a critical distinction, and there's only one right answer. You should always use linked data. When you link a chart from Excel, you're creating a live connection. The numbers in Excel change, boom, the chart in your Word doc can be updated with a click. Embedding data, or even worse, pasting a screenshot, you're just asking for trouble. It's a huge professional risk.
So how do you do it? It's actually super simple, but it's a different habit. Instead of hitting Control-V for paste, you're going to use Paste Special. Then you just choose the Paste Link option. This tiny change in your workflow creates that live connection and will absolutely save you from a major disaster during that final, frantic review. Okay, let me paint a picture for you. I bet this has happened to some of you. The report is basically done, and then someone says, hey, can we just add one more chart back on page 10? Manually, this is where the panic sets in. And just like that, total chaos. Every single figure number after that new one is now wrong. And all those places in your text where you wrote, as shown in figure 8.1, well, that reference is now pointing to the completely wrong thing. Trying to find and fix all of those manually in a 200-page document is an absolute nightmare. But there's a better way. The solution is to let the software do the heavy lifting. You use Word's built-in insert caption feature for every single chart and table. Then, in your text, you use the cross-reference